Okay, as you can see, I've had my hair done specially for this dish, and this dish is going to be some lamb biryani. Not strictly speaking lamb biryani, it's going to be more like a pulao rice with lamb cooked together, and there's some peppercorns and some coriander seeds to start off with. I like using this in a lot of dishes, take the shadow away, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the tissue up and then crush it, everything in there. Now what I'm using is this very heavy wide pan because it holds the heat, so it's very good for cooking rice, and it's on very low heat. It's heated up a bit now, and what I'm going to do is going to throw the coarse black pepper and coriander seeds in there and let them roast. Yeah, I chop them up, well I crush them with the metal spoon, and you can get them ready made at the supermarkets, I think, but they're quite expensive. Now that gives off a lovely aroma. Over here I've got some zira, which I'm going to throw in now. That's about 2 teaspoons. That's just less than half a teaspoon of chili flakes, coarse black pepper, that's coriander powder, and that is haldi, turmeric. Haldi, not Aldi. Aldi is a supermarket. Aldi, A-L-D-I, Aldi, and this is haldi, which is with a H, but you can just say turmeric. It's a lot easier. Also, I'm going to add the homemade garam masala, maybe a teaspoon. That's going to go in as well. I'm just going to wait for this lot to roast a little bit, yeah, and give off the aroma. I'm going to throw in the cumin now, yeah. Now that's all giving off a lovely aroma. It's just roasted maybe for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's giving off a lovely aroma. It's changing colour as well, gone darker obviously. We're going to add a teaspoon of ginger and a teaspoon of garlic once the meat goes in. But first I'm going to add some oil. Well, it's very simple. You're putting in maybe about half a cup of oil. I always say that, but it can be a little bit more, a little bit less, and then that slows down all these seeds from burning. Okay. Now let that heat up, and what I've done is I've cut some onions earlier. That's 1 medium onion. Throw that in. And then just soften them a bit, just a little, 2-3 minutes. And while they soften, the meat has already been washed and prepared. There's the rice. Now this is 1 pound of meat, and this is probably about half a kilo of rice to go with it. You can vary the amounts. Now the onions have softened a little bit. It's about 2 minutes later. I'm going to add 1 tomato. You can do it without tomatoes. A lot of people won't add tomatoes to this kind of dish. I'm just putting 1 in just to enrich the flavour a little bit. Now again, that's going to soften. That's going to take a minute or 2 while we're still filming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the meat in there. That's the meat gone in, and that is the bulk of the work done really. Now we're going to add some ginger and garlic as we had ready. This is the ginger, this is the garlic, and it's about, I would add about a teaspoon. Yeah, and then the same, maybe a little bit more of ginger paste. This is ginger on its own. You can get a mixture of both. Some people prefer it just mixed in already together in a jar, and that's cheap enough to buy. And now we're going to throw in those spices, including the haldi, the turmeric, not the Aldi. And that's gone then. We'll give that a stir, still on fairly low heat, because this pan is a heavy bottomed one, and it retains a lot of heat. And we'll just let that cook for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now we're up to about 15 minutes and the meat has been cooking. As you can see, the spices are just beginning to cook into there, and just give it a stir so it doesn't stick at the bottom. And this is, like I say, about 15 minutes in, and we are going to add the rice with a little bit of water in it. Now earlier I made some salad. There's some cucumber, radish, tomato, onions, lettuce. I'm going to throw some lemon juice on there and some coarse black pepper just to give it a little bit of flavour. And additionally I'm going to make some yogurt, which is plain yogurt. And I've mixed in here, blended, 4 green chilies and coriander. And that's going to go into the yogurt, and we're going to mix it with a little bit of salt, and that will be used for the rice. I have it with the rice. Now we're going to just put a little bit of black pepper onto the salad. There, just give it a little bit of flavour. That's just coarse black pepper. And then we're going to take a lime and squeeze some lime juice all over it, and that's the salad more or less ready. That's it. Now this is all while the meat is still cooking. I've added a little bit of water to the meat, so leave it on low heat for about 20 minutes, make it tender. Now this is the yogurt, 1 carton of yogurt, and we're going to throw in the blended chili and coriander. That goes in there. That's about 4 chilies and coriander to taste. Additionally, what we do is we add a little bit of garlic. Gives it a bit of a kick. Maybe about a teaspoon. And then we add a little bit of water, and then we just mix that up. There you go. We're going to add salt as well. Salt to taste. And we'll come back to this after we've added the salt, maybe a little bit of black pepper as well. Okay, it's been cooking for about 20 minutes now. The meat is getting a little bit more tender. It's virtually about half cooked, but the reason it's only half cooked is we're going to add the rice, and then the rice of course has to boil, and then the meat cooks the rest of the way in the rice. So let's have a look. We are now going to add the rice. Turn the heat. There's the rice. So there's the rice. And what we do, we just mix the rice in. Now it might need a little bit more water, so we'll just mix it all up. Just let it heat up. The temperature has dropped in there now. But what we're going to do is just let the temperature build up, and you can see the yogurt is ready there, and the salad is ready. We're just waiting for the rice to cook into the meat and vice versa, and it's ready to go then. So that's the rice. Added a little bit of water to it, and we're just going to build the temperature up and then turn the heat really low and let it cook in steam for about 10 minutes, and then the food will be ready. And it's more or less ready now. Let's give it a final look. And there you go. It could be like a paella, the Spanish dish. And you could make this with the seafood, or you could make it with chicken. And this one's a little bit spicier, but we have to keep an eye on the rice, because the rice, you don't want it to be overcooked. You know, overcooked rice is the worst, I think. We're going to add a little bit more water. It's just sticking at the bottom, but it's more or less done. That is done.